On October 28, 2007, 23-year-old Stacy Peterson, wife of Bolingbrook Police Sergeant Drew Peterson, was reported missing by her family. Drew told investigators that she had simply left him for another man, abandoning her 2 young children and vanishing without a trace. But Stacy's family didn't buy it, especially her sister Cassandra. Stacy had confided in her just days earlier that she was planning to leave Drew and feared for her safety. She said he was becoming increasingly controlling and angry. When police looked closer, they began to suspect foul play. But this wasn't just a missing persons case. It unearthed something darker from Drew's past. Drew Peterson was a veteran police officer with decades of service. He was seen as charming, authoritative, and well-known in the community. But beneath that image, those close to him described a man who was manipulative, jealous, and abusive. Stacy was Drew's 4th wife. And his 3rd wife, Kathleen Savio, had died just 3 years earlier under suspicious circumstances. Back in 2004, Kathleen was found dead in a dry bathtub, with a gash on her head. At the time, her death was ruled an accidental drowning even though the tub had no water. There were signs of a struggle in the bathroom. Kathleen had told friends she feared Drew would kill her, but Drew was a police officer. The coroner's inquest relied heavily on reports from fellow officers who supported Drew, and the case was quietly closed. Until now, after Stacy's disappearance, the Illinois State Police reopened the Kathleen Savio case. Her body was exhumed, and this time, forensic experts concluded what many had long suspected. Kathleen Savio had been murdered. She had blunt force trauma, and had likely been held underwater. The scene was staged to look like an accident. Meanwhile, Drew maintained that Stacy had run off, but inconsistencies piled up. She left her car, wallet, and cell phone. Drew refused to let police search his home without a warrant. He made bizarre media appearances, even joking about Stacy's disappearance on talk shows. At one point, he even considered writing a book called Untouchable, but public pressure mounted. Drew was placed under constant surveillance, and neighbors began reporting suspicious activity. Stacy's pastor told investigators that she had confessed Drew killed Kathleen, and she feared she'd be next. Though Stacy's body was never found, the circumstantial evidence surrounding Kathleen's murder and Drew's odd behavior finally led to his arrest. In May 2009, Drew Peterson was charged with the first-degree murder of Kathleen Savio. During his 2012 trial, prosecutors used testimony from Stacy's friends, Drew's history of violence and threats, forensic evidence from Kathleen's re-examined autopsy witnesses who heard confessions from Stacy before her disappearance. Even without Stacy's body, her voice rang loud in court. She had told people, "If I disappear, it wasn't an accident. It was Drew." In September 2012, Drew Peterson was found guilty of murdering Kathleen Savio and sentenced to 38 years in prison. While never charged in Stacy's case, he remains the prime suspect, and her family continues to advocate for justice. She has never been found. In a bizarre twist in 2015, Drew was recorded in prison soliciting the murder of the state's attorney who prosecuted him. That led to an additional 40 years added to his sentence. The case became a media sensation, with documentaries, books, and a Lifetime movie titled Drew Peterson Untouchable. It raised serious concerns about law enforcement protecting their own, the failure of the justice system in recognizing domestic abuse, the need for better oversight in officer-involved investigations. Drew, once a respected cop, was now infamous for using his badge to mask a double life, one of abuse, manipulation, and murder.